Hello, back with another video. I know that I said in the last one that I'm really going to do transits and stuff, but I was kind of wandering around my room today, and it's super rainy. I don't know if you'll be able to, I don't know if you'll be able to hear it, but it's super rainy today, which kind of limits my ability to be doing things. I was going to go outside, but I'm kind of restricted about that, although I might go outside later, but I can come home and have a shower. Not that I can't come home and have a shower now, but I don't want to be wet right now. I just want to be dry and warm. But anyway, yeah, I got an idea just to do a reading of like a stroke of luck, like what's something lucky about to come into your life. And yeah, I'm going to be pretty much touching on what it could be with the tarot, and then use some oracle cards to kind of dip into what might be blocking it, if it is just like time, if it's a divinely guided thing that just needs to be come in at the right time, or if it's a particular energy that you might be in, or something you're doing, a behavior, a thought pattern, whatever might be blocking it. And then just some stuff that you could do to go around that blockage. So yeah, like another state of mind you could put yourself into, some like practices or whatever it is. Yeah, we're just gonna do that. Okay, so I'm going to get, I'm just picking my crystals. Group 1, please, Spirit. What's group 1? Whatever you are. When I got this, I thought it was Serpentine, but then I think it's Jade. I think it's Jade. Yeah? If not, please correct me. But I think it's Jade, green Jade. So group 1 is Jade. Group 2. Oh, rose quartz. Something one of my old housemates gave to me. It was like in his car. He was like, oh, you like crystals? There you go. And group 3. Smoky quartz, I already know that. Yeah. It looks really dark. How do I get this to like not be dark? It looks black like obsidian, but I thought it was. I ordered it online. It was one of the only first time I've ever ordered it. A crystal online. I don't know if you can see through it. Oh, you can't. But it is smoky quartz. It's just like AAA grade or whatever. Anyway, so there's 3 groups. I'll put a picture up here if you need to pause to figure out which crystal you're connected to. Yeah, all 3 of them are really beautiful. Maybe I'll just hold them up as well. Pick which one you like. But yeah, the 3 really beautiful stones all have very beautiful meanings. If you feel connected to one and you feel like you want to Google what the meaning is, please do. Maybe you need some of it in your life. Maybe it's not just this reading that's, maybe it's not just a signifier for the reading, but maybe it's something that you need. But yeah, so that's it. I will see you in whatever reading you pick. Bye. Hi group 1, so you are the, what I think is green Jade. Do correct me if I'm wrong, but green stone connects to the heart chakra because it is green. Most green stones do. Like heart, friendship, self-love kind of vibes. But today we're going to be looking into what stroke of luck could be coming your way. So spirits, ancestors, guides, fairies, gods, goddesses, any divine beings, creatures, light beings that want to give messages, give guides, give wisdom, advice into this reading of mine and of anyone watching of group 1. What is a stroke of luck that could be coming in, that will be coming in to group 1's life, please? Something that relieves anxiety. It's something that is going to relieve the worries that you've had in your head. Like the things, whatever it is, it could be one or it could be multiple things that have been stressing you out, you've been losing sleep about, kind of putting you into a bit of an anxious spiral. Somebody could be coming in presenting, like giving you a way out. Yeah. Somebody could be coming in giving you a way out, and it might not be something that you have thought of before. Yeah. On the bottom of your deck, you've got Wheel of Fortune, which is possibly the best card you could get in this kind of reading. That is literally the card of luck. It's Sagittarius energy. It is that everything is going to be turning in your favor. This is the card of wish fulfillment. And you've got Seven of Swords, which is like typically the card of like betrayal, like not really great things, but it's also kind of like, I feel like it's like unexpected resolution. Like it's something that you didn't think of. And not the fact that you've been sitting and stressing and anxiety, and you have, you know, when you're in those thoughts and you're running absolutely everything in your head. I'm not saying that this is coming in, it's like you didn't think of this. Like this is something that it only could have been brought in by another person. It could be something to do with your work or relationship. It's like, yeah, work or relationship. But the stroke of luck, it could come from revisiting the past. A certain opportunity coming back from the past that you wouldn't have thought was going to come back. Like something coming back that you didn't think was possible, that now opens a set of doors and kind of ends this vicious cycle of anxiety, depression, fear, lack of sleep. These things that when they all kind of party together really doesn't make for a really healthy mental space. If you're not feeling the best, please do go seek help, talk to someone. You don't always have to go to a doctor. Some people don't have money for it, but open up about it if you can, even if it's just going to a friend and being like, fuck, I haven't, like, even just saying it, like, I've been feeling really like depressed lately, I've been feeling really exhausted. Even just naming it can sometimes help. Even though you might not think like, oh, what could that do? It's just talking to someone. But you never know. You honestly never know. Can you have more clarification on what this Nine of Swords, this stress? It's going to be something that, like, it's going to end the stress, obviously. And I feel like it's somebody coming in with, like, a new option that just really does make your life. Like, you're just like, holy shit, I didn't think this was possible. It's a stroke of luck, so we're assuming it's good for you. This anxiety, maybe you're having, maybe it's a break in a relationship, you guys are going on a break, or I only say relationship because we had the Two of Cups and now we have the Hierophant. Although it could be maybe a job's coming back. It's something that's very much important to you and something that you invested a lot of your time in, and something that you felt secure in. Like, I'm getting an element of, like, you felt at home in whatever this was, and it was like a very big contribution to your security. And everything kind of might have been like flipped on its head when it ended. And you kind of just thrown into this realm of like despair of like, fuck, what the fuck do I do now, you know? And we've got two Page of Swords. So I feel like somebody's watching over you. I'm getting your guides. Yeah, now the Magician to that. I'm getting your guides. Your angels and your guides are on your side about this. And they could be the ones possibly orchestrating this thing coming in. I mean, when aren't they? But yeah, you're supposed to exit this thing with a newfound understanding of why you went through that, of why it ended. You're supposed to, like, you're gonna come out of it understanding why it needed to take place. But it's also something, I guess, that you thought you'd never get out of. Yeah. So, do I want... I was gonna do this deck as like a blockage, or like that little time gauge thing that I was talking about. What do I want? I feel like maybe this one. No, I'm getting, yeah, this feels better. Okay, so spirits, guides, ancestors, fairies, gods, angels, goddesses, every divine light being, and any divine light being needs to have input, advice, wisdom, knowledge into this spread for group 1. Allow me to channel a message clearly and concisely as to what may be making the difference between group 1 coming to this stroke of luck, coming into this realization, this choice, this rebirth around this situation. What might be holding it back or blocking the situation from coming forward as quickly as possible? Something in the way, like a barrier. What's the barrier here? What's a better word for it? A barrier. So we got growth in reverse, and we also have isolation. Yeah. And we got perception on the bottom. So, wow, it is really raining heavily. I don't know these cards like very well, so I'm going to get the guidebook eventually. But I just want to like read what's kind of here, which is obviously there's a lack of growth. And we've got first of all, we've got 2 heart chakras and then 1 throat chakra card. And I'm getting the kind of feeling here that like you're stuck in a bit of a rut. You definitely are. Your mind is, I don't think your mind's your prison. I definitely think there's circumstances that are bringing your mind into that. Like, I'm not going to say like your perception's the problem, sweetie. Like, just think yourself out of it, you know, like manifest it. Manifestation, law of attraction is such a tricky thing to get into because like your mind is your power, you know what I mean? When people talk about that kind of thing, it's like, I understand when people like shit on it because it only like, you create your reality. Therefore, if you are in like a bit of a tight spot, it can be really hard to lift yourself out to be able to manifest good. Like if you manifest from a low vibration or from a difficult period, like even if you're manifesting out of want, you're just manifesting more want. And so it's really hard to be able to get to the place of privilege to where you can sit in a positive mindset, in a place where you're not really like facing a lot of conflict and you don't have to do as much mental gymnastics to be able to manifest your way out of a situation or law of attraction things in to help you kind of thing. So I am not saying that's what this is. Please do not take this as me being like, just think about it differently. Like I can tell that it's not just your head. There's things going on around you that are also making it increasingly difficult, and I don't want to invalidate you. I just felt like I needed to say that. I also feel my throat getting a bit whack. It could also be this like isolation element. I don't feel like you're reaching out to people. Like, I don't know what that is. Invitation. Maybe you're choosing to stay inside, you're choosing to isolate yourself because you just might not have the energy, or I'm hearing the confidence to go out into the world, or it's COVID. I know in Australia it's fine, but I don't know if this is going to reach anyone outside of Australia, but like, although I'm pretty sure, did Western Australia, like Perth, just have something? I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't want to spread misinformation. But yeah, I feel like this isolation is stunting the growth. Obviously. Doesn't take a genius. But it could be a... I feel I want to... Like, Spirit's putting all of these really harsh words into my head, and I don't want to say them. Because, like, it could be triggering. And I don't want to fucking trigger someone, but it's like... Like, Spirit's saying you're in your own way. In the sense of, it's this kind of enforced isolation that... Like, you're making the choice to isolate yourself, and you're making the choice to stay home, and you're choosing to do all these things. And I don't doubt that, like, I don't want someone to hear that and just be like, well, like I know you would have your reasons behind your decision. I know you'd have your reasons. Please do not take this as me saying that. I'm just getting messages, and like, that's why I'm like, I feel kind of blocked, because I don't want to say the things that are coming into my head, because I feel like it could trigger you. It could, like, you know, it sounds like I'm not considering, or that Spirit's not considering all the nuances of the situation that you're in. But I'm just gonna channel, because otherwise I'm getting blocked and I'll lose the messages. Essentially, you're stunting your own growth by making the choice of isolation, and that could come out of a certain degree of comfort within the isolation. Now I'm getting a message that, like, maybe there's something ended, maybe a relationship, a job, something that used to be a very pivotal part of your life that gave you a lot of reason to, like, that gave you a lot of structure in your world. It gave you a lot of stability, and that was ripped away from you pretty quickly, and maybe not in the best of ways. Sorry, my voice is just like, my throat is very croaky. I'm getting that you maybe haven't voiced this to a lot of people. Maybe it's a struggle that you're kind of going on alone. I don't feel like you've been reaching out to anyone, and that's very much hindering you getting out of this. If you're going through it all alone, yeah, the Two of Wands, I don't know why I didn't see this earlier. Two of Wands speaks of the fact that you kind of need help from others. It's not, you're about to start on an endeavor that would be more successful with others. It's not something that you could do alone, or if you could, it'd just be like, it would take a fucking long time, you know? And you might view this, you might view opening up, or you might view talking about it as a really hard thing to do. You might think of it as weak, as like, no, I can usually get myself through this shit. I don't need anyone else, like, I can just do it myself. Because I don't need people to come into me. I don't need people to, like, tell me what to do, or like, I don't need to be a burden on them. Like, it's just easier this way. Like, oh, I've dealt with this before, I can do it again. Kind of attitude, which, I mean, I get it. Fuck, I get it. I do that. But that's a matter of perception. It's your perception that's telling you that you'd be a burden, or that other people might not have insight that's worth listening to. You got Page of Swords, so maybe you think that other people can't really offer you any advice that would be worth listening to. I don't think consciously you're like, nobody else knows how to help me, but you're probably just sitting there thinking like, fuck, like, you're sitting in the Nine of Swords, and when you're in that headspace, like I said before, you're absolutely spiraling, you know, like, you have thought of every which way exit, no how, left turn, right dog leg, out of this, and you're like, I just can't fucking see it. But there's something past it. There's 100% something past it, and I feel like it is somebody coming in. It could be, like, it could be a spiritual teacher, like, it could be someone, it could be, fuck, like, I know that I've been this for friends. I've been the girl that is absolutely fucking in love with crystals and, like, tarot, and, like, I've been that friend. And then, like, I'll come into someone and say something, like, because I want to help. That's what I feel, like, I feel that. And so, then that turns into a lot of my friends coming to me for help. A lot of friends go to a lot of friends for help. I just want to say I'm not the only friend, but, like, maybe it is one of your spiritual or religious friends that you go to, and they can offer you something that you just never thought of. And I'm not saying they, like, indoctrinate you to their faith or whatever like that. I'm not saying. Maybe this could be the trigger for you to get into spirituality. I don't know. But they bring something to your life that you kind of hadn't considered before. Maybe you hadn't considered so seriously, and it really does shift your perception, and it really just like catalyzes this growth. Do I feel the need to read any of it? I feel the need to like at least look a little bit of perception. Transformation in the heart, change in perception, the unknown, promise of a richer experience. Da-da-da-da. Where's the growth one? This speaks a little bit about independence. Warrior, peace, and courage. See, I read this initially as lack of growth, but this is also about like independence and being a warrior and being at peace, and I feel like that's you overdoing it. That's you overdoing it and like becoming that kind of unhealthy soldier and putting yourself into isolation. But I know that you're trying to do it out of a means of self-preservation. Please do not take that as me being like, just like fucking choose to not be alone, alright? Like, it's easy. So I know it's not. Life is so much more complex than that. So what is spirit and energy that, or an animal token that group 1 could step into, or some wisdom and guidance from the animals that might speak to them and help them take the steps that they need to bring this luck, to bring this new beginning? Because that's the thing that comes after this is that you got the Wheel of Fortune. Like, everything changes. Like, the wheel starts spinning in your favor, baby, and you have death. So it's a complete new thing, and the new thing, the wheel is spinning in your favor, and it is making you happy. Like, you are winning big, essentially. I think it's just like a little bit, there's a lot about, not a lot, but I get a little bit of like let go of the pride, you know, and but like I understand. Do I want to take all of them? Oh, I think the main one that came out was the butterfly. But then you have, oh, I feel like I just needed to see these to be like, yeah. Okay, actually I feel like the tiger is important, but I don't feel like the rest of these are important. Sorry. I'm looking at the moon on the tiger. These are the two cards you got, sorry. Butterfly and tiger. So we've got air and fire. Now the butterfly is like, the entire thing of a butterfly is like it's a little ugly caterpillar and it eats a whole shit ton and it goes into a cocoon and it's a beautiful butterfly. Duh. But also I'm getting the, you know how there's always that point in your life when you when you find out that butterflies like eat decaying and dead things. It feels like I'm always getting this thing that like something's gonna come in and just start eating away at all the dead shit in your life. Like I feel like there's a lot of dead weight maybe from this situation ending, from this loss. There's a lot of dead weight and there's a lot of baggage that just kind of doesn't serve you anymore. It's not in your best interest and you just need to don't chop off your arm, but just like get rid of it, you know? The tiger, I'm just really looking at the moon with the tiger. And I'm getting more than I got intuition, but then I also got femininity, which is like, it's in a masculine, you've got two masculine signs. So maybe balancing the feminine and the masculine. The messages in this book, they always just get you. Like this, the fairies, and this one, actually. This was the first one that I used to like pick up when I was like having a fit. And I'd be crying and I'd pick up this book and then I'd read one of these things and I'd be like, holy shit, spirit, you're really talking to me right now in my language and I love you. So, tiger, lunar force, ease in darkness, and feminine energy. There we go. The tiger hunts at night, at one with the silence, fearing nothing. This card reminds us to take in the wild darkness, to allow the lunar forces to soothe and heal our spirits. Sensuality, receptivity, and devotion are all heightened in the midnight hour, and the tiger takes advantage of these boons. Spend some time in silence this evening, drinking in the potent calm. There is nothing to fear in the stillness except the awakening of your own power. So when out of balance, overstimulated. To bring into balance, Trataka, candle gazing. I mean, that kind of makes sense in this. That's what. Okay, see, there was the hangman that was in here, and I think at some point I was saying that you need to like reconsider. I mean, it kind of ties in like spirituality, I guess. I'm not saying you have to go like buy $3,000 worth of crystals and start worshipping Gaia, but I think a lot of times spirituality links into that thing of whole mindfulness and wellness and that aspect of it. Maybe that is something that speaks to you a little bit more, and take some quiet moments to, maybe it's before you reach out to people, to kind of like quiet down your thoughts and get you out of this like head buzzing thing. To quiet and like ready yourself to be able to step out into the world again and offer yourself up to someone and go like, hey, I haven't been okay, help, or like, can I get help? Or maybe a person's not even coming. No, even when I go to say that, someone, a partnership, a best friend, a brother, a mother, a workmate, someone, I feel like someone's gonna help you, or it's you reaching out to somebody that starts this transition. I think at the beginning I was saying it could be an old lover. It could be. I don't feel that as much anymore, but if that story resonates with you, it resonates with you. But, okay, this is what ties in this. Whatever needs to, like, you've obviously got some shit going on in your head right now, and I don't know what it is on a personal level, but all I know is that it's a lot, and it's enough to spiral you out of everything. But I feel like the medicine that you need to step into is, I don't feel like maybe you're going too hard on yourself, but you're definitely overloading yourself. You know, like, and I can level with that. Like, sometimes all you can do is think, and sometimes all you can do is just hone in on something and just try and find a way out. Because, like, what else do? You just sit in the sadness? No, like, I'm not saying that if you do it's bad, but like, do you know what I mean? Like, I mean to say that I understand this energy in the sense of when I'm in a pretty shit situation, I can't stop thinking about it. I can't stop running the events in my head. I can't stop running if I said the right thing. I can't stop running what I could have done better, what should have gone better, where this could have gone or this didn't happen. Like, I can't stop thinking about that kind of thing, because if I do, I just sit there like a brick. It's so sometimes thinking is the only thing you can do, but I'm getting that you need to take some quiet moments for yourself, and if you can't stop thinking about what happened, start consoling yourself. Start with, okay, maybe I did this or this, no, maybe they did this, and feel what your heart kind of screams at and goes out, and then just fully, unabashedly, on your own biased side, console yourself. Say the things that you want someone to say to you, whether that is just, I love you, you're gonna be okay, it's okay. Just console yourself. Be the feminine, support the nurture that you need, that you're crying out for. Be that for yourself, and just be unabashedly biased to your side. Like, because I know I personally have difficulties sometimes when something's happened and I want to empathize with the other person, because I think like, oh, if I bring both sides and I can see the argument fairly, therefore I'm not like just spinning myself out and I have a rounder understanding of everything. Turns out sometimes not the best thing to do, because you end up invalidating your own experience, and that can create shit. So I've had to learn that kind of like reparenting thing of just, even if like one of your rebuttals is like, oh no, but that was like a really arrogant little, like it was a childish thing for me to do, or like that was like a little child tantrum. Just bypass your judgment of yourself for a second and just go, well, yes, that was a bit of a childish thing to do, but I was reacting out of pain. I was reacting out of whatever it was. Just be that nurture for yourself right now, is what I'm getting with this one. Now, butterfly. I'm getting linking it on because this is going to be, you've got the death card here as well after the 2 of Wands. So it is going to be a pretty like huge shift. And I'm getting that the tiger energy, sometimes you can get sick of how long a transformation happens. Sometimes they happen over fucking night. And I'm getting that maybe this one is the kind of one for you. Like there's not a lot of slow energy here. There's a lot of fast ones. So maybe it is like a super quick mindset change, I guess. With the help of, I'm getting that there's someone helping you. There's someone, like you were sitting here alone being like, bada bada bada, or like you were sitting here alone. And then someone's like, hey, this. And then all of a sudden your entire world's changed. Death card, Wheel of Fortune, bada ba boop, beep beep boop. You're about to go through a big transformation in life. And I feel like you need to carry that tiger energy with you. I feel like that's going to be the imperative thing. That's the thing that's going to shift your, that's maybe the perception you need to change, is possibly how critical you are of yourself going back over these events, going over this loss. Maybe that is the shift that you need in perception. Let me just find the butterfly. Okay, undergoing great change and transformation. Makes sense. Since air is the element of the heart, is it? Oh well, it might be. This change usually involves relationships. Since transition is accompanied by some amount of discomfort, be extra patient and kind during this time, especially if the butterfly is you. Let solid friends and activities support you like a cocoon. Committing to one daily routine, a meal, a practice, or a prayer, done at the same time and place and time, will do wonders for lifting a butterfly's spirit. Ha! Okay. Hierophant. Maybe get into meditation. I know for the past like God ever how long everyone's like mindfulness. Have you tried meditation? And everyone's like, shut the fuck up. Shut up. I get that. I get it. But also, have you tried meditation? Like, I can't not say it. And because the cards are speaking it, like I can't not. But I also just want to give like a 2 cents. I have ADHD, if you can't tell. And like meditation, people used to say that to me. Like my dad, when I was going through a big thing of mental health, maybe you should try meditation, about mindfulness. I'd be like, 15! Don't tell me to meditate. Anyway. And I just thought it was going to be never possible because my mind is always doing something. It's always seeing something. Something's always happening. And so I was like, what the fuck? Like, silence of the mind, that's never going to happen. But that's not what meditation is. It's kind of, at least for me, as I've taken it to be able to work into my life, it's just a practice of bringing yourself into yourself. Because I've kind of acknowledged that my mind is never going to stop. But I can slow it down and I can get it to just focus onto my body. Like just feeling my senses and kind of feeling these things. And sometimes, like quite honestly, sometimes I do have a quiet mind, and it's taken maybe 2 or 3 years to get to that point, and I haven't been practicing every single day. So maybe it could have been quicker if I was a bit more devoted to it. But I just want to say that it is possible, and you just have to you'll find a way that it works for you. Maybe if it is just like putting on like a slow song in the morning and just sitting with yourself and feeling what it feels for you. Like just letting yourself have 2 or 3 minutes of just being. That can sometimes that's sometimes all it needs to be. And I'm really happy that the butterfly mentioned the cocoon of people around you. So maybe this is like a person that's going to provide like a little bit. Maybe you have a friend that is into meditation, or somebody that is willing just to sit with you for a little bit. Maybe your roommate, if you just want to be like, hey, can we just go on the deck and like meditate for like a couple minutes. Reach out. It's not ridiculous, it's not silly. And for people around you who have either seen what you're going through or knew what you lost and have maybe not seen you, make yourself known and ask for help. I promise it'll, I promise, something good will come from it. Okay. I'm also, yeah, maybe it is a relationship thing because it's the Heartstone. It could be a loss of a relationship. And I'm really, really sorry. Those are fucking hard. Although, I know for me personally, and it might just be me having Jupiter in my 7th house, the relationships that I've had, and also like them themselves, and also the process of grieving and the transition of grieving and loss, they're when I grow the most. They're the catalysts that incite a lot of growth within myself. And I don't know if that's just Jupiter, Pisces, and 7th house, because that makes a lot of sense, but I also think it's just like natural human interaction, like two big things of energy, like pew, something's bound to like happen. But yeah, I hope this helped. Maybe you feel supported, maybe you feel seen by this. But I just want to give you a big hug and let you know that it's going to be okay. You've got 9 of Cups and Wheel of Fortune coming in for you, and a beautiful big transformation, and you're going to be a beautiful butterfly. Just remember to be that nurturer for yourself. Be that feminine energy for yourself. Tell yourself, I know it sounds weird and it might not sound like it does anything, but I did it for the first time a few years ago when I was really upset, and it was just like a self-soothing. Rocking back and forth when you're really sad, that's a self-soothing technique that the body just does, just to move itself, to get energy moving, because as humans we kind of have learned to just like sit in negative emotion and negative energy. But I remember one time I was just doing that and I just had to be like, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. I know something that I consciously chose to do, because I know that I've done that when I've been like in a really bad place. Like I'll just be like, it's fine, everything's fine, it's okay. But like in that moment, I chose not just to be with my emotions, but just to be the thing holding my emotions as well, which was the tapping, just going, it's okay. I know it might look or sound like it won't do much, but just be open to everything, or anything rather. Maybe not everything. Don't be open to certain things in periods of distress, mental distress. There's time for fun, and there's time for there's time for fun, and there's time for being there for yourself, you know? Who am I, your mother? No. Anyway, thank you for watching. It has been fucking a long time, so if you're still here, good job. I will see you in another reading. Bye. Hi, group 2. Welcome to your reading for your stroke of luck, or I don't know, with the way that last reading went, it seems like a little dose of optimism, you know, like something that you need to hear, something that's coming into your life to raise your vibration, to raise your level, to bring in some good vibes. You picked the Rose Quartz. For me, this particular one that I have is really attached to friendship, so that could have something to do with your reading. Who knows? We will find out. I didn't take a picture of the last spread. Looks like there's no pictures of the spread coming, but damn it, fuck. Maybe I never have the memory to do that, but I think it's helpful, but also because you can't see it right now because I don't know how to figure out an angle to be able to see the table, because I don't have a tripod, I just have my phone. But anyway, it's by the by. I will be asking Spirit with group 2. I invite in any guides, spirit guides, ancestors, divine beings, gods, goddesses, fairies, creatures that want to channel any messages through me for group 2 in regards to a stroke of luck that may be coming into their lives. They either know or they don't know about. This is something that could be coming towards group 2 that will bring about abundance and luck into their lives. Thank you. Wow, okay. I feel like yours is going to be a bit intense. So we've got the moon. We've got the 7 of swords, not the 7 of swords, the 7 of wands and the moon. You could be overcoming a fear. I feel like I want my cards feet. Yeah. Big overcoming fear energy right now. Kind of without knowing it. Or maybe, no, you would know it. Fear of loneliness. Now I'll show you your cards, just so you kind of know what we're working with here. Maybe you read cards yourself. Maybe you have somewhat of an understanding. Maybe the imagery will trigger something for you. Who knows? In a good way. I don't want to trigger you for like no good reason. But these are your cards. So you have the 7 of Wands, the Moon, and the Knight of Pentacles. Was that the right way? Yes, it was. So there's your cards. I get slowly overcoming a fear. And it might be a fear of abandonment. But there could be a road that you're about to start walking that heals this wound. And it might be something that you don't really go into intentionally thinking like, I'm going to tackle my fear of abandonment. I feel like it's something that kind of does come in a bit disguised at first. Yeah. So I feel like it's a choice that you kind of... The thing that's coming in for you is a choice that you don't know that you're making, and you won't know what it is by me telling you this either. Like, you're not going to get out of... You're not going to be able to think into it and be like, oh, what choice was she talking about? You're not going to know. You're going to have no fucking clue, dude. You're going to choose this and you're not going to know. But it's going to be good. It's going to bring in a lot of clarity into your life, which is something I think you currently lack. Moon speaks of, well, if you think about it, I'm kind of getting, I've never thought of it like this before. Huh. But the moon in this, see how it's like, it kind of looks like a sun. Like if you just cover this, it kind of looks like a sun, and then the moon is like covering parts of it, which is the analogy that I was going to go into, in the sense of what I was about to say is daylight, we can see pretty much everything, unless there's like trees and shadow, but even then it's not like, you can't really get pitch black shadow when you're in daylight if you're outside with the sun. But with the moon, and we're outside at nighttime, everything kind of looks a bit different, because the only things that get lit are the things that are, like, for one, like absorb enough light to be able to reflect back light, or two, things like the top of things. Like the light isn't ever, so if it's the top of a leaf, you'll only really see the top of the leaf and you won't really see the bottom of it. You'll just see like, it's an illusion kind of. Everything looks different at night. That's why it's so hard to navigate. It's so hard to see. That's kind of what the moon talks about, and it talks a lot about different things, but that's the kind of thing that I'm getting right now, that you might be in a little bit of a state of not being able to see the full picture of something. And it could be to do, the only reason I'm getting a fear of abandonment is we've got 7 of Wands, which I've been recently reading as fear, and then we've got 5 of Cups, and we also have 8 of Swords. So that's what I'm getting. I'm not going to try and like force any other messages, because I'm just going to get the ones that I get, and dat be dat. But yeah, this choice and this path, it might be like a new way of life for you. But it's something that I don't think you have a conscious, like, A, B, C, this is why I'm picking this, yeah. I feel like you just have a certain pull towards doing something, or maybe you're changing your pace with something, or maybe you just decide to switch up a routine of health or like workout, or I don't really know. Like, I could go into it, but it's a general reading. It's going to be different for any person that reads this. Sorry, a bit of dust. It's going to be different for everyone, but it's something that's going to come from within you, and it's something that is going to somehow bypass, like, I just got like that your head's in a bit of a state at the moment because you're kind of freaking out. Like, you're in a bit of a scarcity mentality. Fear of abandonment could lead to that. And somehow this, like, it's kind of going to come out of nowhere, but you're not going to clock it as like, oh, this is a very strange thought that I've had that could get me out of all of my problems. I get more of a sense as it's a very day-to-day task that just suddenly switches and changes, and it's not something that you actively choose to do. You're being subconsciously led to make this decision. I guess that's why in your shuffling I was like, let you know or you don't know. Because yeah, I don't really feel like you... It's definitely something your spirit guides, your spiritual team, they're definitely kind of pushing you through this, because it's something that has incited a lot of pain, a lot of disappointment, loss. It's kind of trapped yourself within yourself and put you in this a bit of I want to get scarcity mindset. The Seven of Wands is really kind of just saying scarcity mindset to me personally. But yeah, that's what I'm really kind of getting from the cards. So what might... Oh, do I want to clarify anything? I mean, you can clarify the Ace of Swords. Because you've got Ace of Swords coming in, which is clarity, which is truth, understanding. Really, I wanted to say divine understanding. Knowing. It's that sword that cuts through all the bullshit. So it's the sword that cuts through... No, I just got an image of like the sword, like you using this sword to reflect more. You know how you can use mirrors to like reflect light? You know how people use magnifying glass to burn ants? I tried that as a kid, but it didn't work. But I definitely know people that it did work for. Kind of happy it didn't work for me. That could have unlocked some shit. Anyway, I'm kind of getting an image of a sword being used to reflect the moonlight in order to be able to see a bit more. So I'm getting that that's going to be the thing to kind of... this clarity, this truth, this realization that I feel like there's every single thing on here has a person alone. I feel like it's definitely a journey that... It's a journey, it's something that you will do for yourself or with yourself. Not that you can't have other people. Not that you can't have other people around you, but I feel like it's something that's going to come from yourself, from within yourself, and like you're going to be the powerhouse behind this all. I don't feel like somebody else is going to be bringing in this news. I don't feel like you're going to be told this news by anyone else. I feel like you're going to have this realization that stems from your intuition, your subconscious, and making these choices to slowly get yourself out of the situation. But it's these choices that the reason you're making them doesn't stem from trying to get yourself off this situation. It kind of just is a happy, I don't want to say happy accident, but it's like a flow-on effect almost. So Ace of Swords, please. I've read the Ace of... These ones have been... The way they've been coming to me is like... really weird. It's the only deck of mine that does this, but... I guess that's how it do be speaking. Too many. Sorry, I'm not having it. Ooh, nope. It could be, I want to say a false sense of belief to do with, why am I getting university? Probably because the higher education thing is here. Maybe you're choosing to leave a university course. Maybe this choice is like, maybe you have a bunch of shit happening and the choice you're making is leaving uni. I don't know, because I don't know why I'm getting that from these 4 cards. But I am. I'm getting higher education. This is like, it's Taurus energy, but it can be spiritual guidance, a spiritual guide, a relationship, a commitment, higher education, high beliefs. At least that's what I'm getting it as. I'm kind of getting that you're seeing it go nowhere. That's what, like, you might be in a degree at the moment and you're kind of like, this isn't even gonna get me the thing that I want by the end of this, you know? And that's when you realize that, and you realize you're racking up a whole bunch of debt. Yep, that can be a pretty shit feeling. I don't think it's the cause of your, like, stress. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. I feel like you're dropping it. The choice is to drop it. I feel like you're just like, I'm not going to continue picking the thing that, like, makes me anxious. Okay, this is a new line that I'm picking up. A new story that I'm picking up is this university timeline. There could be the whole thing of, like, you being a bit of a strife and you picking the option that you've been, like, unconsciously, like, swayed towards, and that could be to do with the uni, but I'm getting with this new one, this updated storyline that I'm getting, you do know that you are in a university degree, a job, something. It could be a commitment. I don't know why uni came to my head the first time. It could be a relation. I mean, you got the Hierophant and the Lovers, but the first thing that came to me was uni. It could be a relationship. You know that it's, like, absolutely expending your energy and putting you into a pit of shit. Like, it's not good for you. It's making you super depressed, but you might have a really deep attachment to it. Or this view that if I keep going, it'll get clearer. I'll continue trucking on. But you have this kind of subconscious realization to start a new path, start a new journey. It's not anything, like, drastic. I feel like this is a thing that's been lingering in your head for a while. It's not like a sudden 180, and I don't think the change will be a sudden 180. I think it'll be a very slow, gradual change. But it's going to free you from a lot of shitty feelings. And I think by the end of this thing, you'll be like, I don't think you think the decision that you're about to make is going to change as much as it does. That's what I feel like saying. But it's going to change a lot for the better. I promise you that. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Oh, why didn't I just read the bottom of the deck? Sometimes I wish... You know what? No, I channeled all of that. So, but this is just kind of confirmation of the challenging. Like, yeah, you have this choice that you're kind of sitting and looking at those 3 cups and being like, fuck, everything just really ain't that. It's not that. You know, it's kind of, But then the universe is like, hey, there's this thingy thing, and you pick it. Like, it takes a while. It takes a while of you being like, hey, should I? And you're just like, oh, fuck it, I guess. There's nothing that could really go wrong, really. Like, how much of it's going to change? Like, how drastically is this going to impact me? Maybe that's the attitude you have. Some of you, yes, some of you know. Then it completely just, like, resets your entire life, and you're like, boo, da-da-da-da. You know? Well, you might not know right now, but eventually. I've already been talking for like 15 minutes, and I've only done the tarot. I'm scared to say that word online because I'm gonna get people telling me that I'm saying it wrong. But I'm just Australian. Tarot. Who knows? Spirit, what are some blockages, or like what is the barrier here that group 2 could be either in their way, unknowingly, knowingly, visibly, physically, mentally, spiritually? What barriers are here? Nope, that's too many. Oh, is it? Okay. I guess it's not. Impasse. I don't even know if that's how you say it. I'm getting a lack of belief that you either deserve or are capable of having all this joy and abundance. I don't know where that fits into the story, but I'm just feeling it. Because I've got funny duo, vanity and insecurity. Oddly enough, these do go hand in hand. That's why you get narcissists. People that are so incredibly insecure that they are so incredibly vain. And hey. But ultimately, when you look at those people, it's the complete reliance and need for vanity, control, power, because there is something feeding a deep insecurity down that you, like, like, you need to hold on to this, even if it is shitty. Like, even if you're not a good person for it, it's almost as if, like, you stop acknowledging that it makes you a shitty person because you're like, I need this. Like, this is the only way I can live, because if I don't, I have to address all of this, and I'm not strong enough to do that right now. It's too owie. It's hurty. Ouch. I have this feeling of the fact that you might need to give up, like, popularity or something like that. The card that was on the bottom of this deck before I started shuffling was Facade. And now I'm seeing the Seven of Wands in a whole different light. I'm seeing that there was something that you were putting on for others and it got kind of exhausting. This could be a whole other timeline thing. I feel like you were hiding, like, a huge part of you from either your friends or yourself, even yourself, because again, like, I'm seeing a lot of alone cards. Like, there's not a lot of cards of having people around you except in the vanity card. So maybe you have this image, this thing that you have felt comfortable in, this side of you that you feel comfortable in, that you feel gives you strength, that you are with your friends, that you are with everybody else, and it's been used as a band-aid for a lot of wounding. A lot. Like a lot. And even when you look at it through the lens of the moon. Even when you look at it, take a shot every time I say look at it. Even when you go internally and try to address these issues, you're still only seeing the little bits that shine, like the little bits that the moon is willing to bring to you. But you need to start going onto this journey. Okay, see, these are coming through. I was hoping that these readings were just going to be like, oh, the stroke of luck, like something is just going to be brought to you for funsies. But I'm really getting that the thing that's going to be brought to you is this sudden journey of internal trust and follow in the internal enlightenment. Kind of what everyone's kind of been doing over COVID with, like, you can't really go outside in terms of, like, literally you can't really travel outside, so you need to travel inwards. And I feel like it's a very slow, painstaking journey, and it's going to uncover a lot of insecurities. Maybe one of them is the fear of abandonment that I was talking about before. Maybe that's why you have this facade, this outside appearance, this thing that you keep pushing onto yourself and others because you're afraid of being alone. And you're afraid of being alone with yourself because you don't know what's there. Yeah, that's incredibly scary. I so understand that. Yeah. Fuck. But I don't know, I feel like the thing that's coming in for you is the universe's push, or your own push, to be fair. I feel like it's coming from either your higher self or the universe. Sorry, someone's messaging me and I can't focus. But yeah, it's going to bring about, it's going to uncover a lot, and it's going to probably put you through some painstaking things, but you're going to come out of the other side of it enjoying abundance. You know, it's gonna be good. Can I just get an energy that may assist, help, advise, a medicine for group 2, please? A medicine for group 2 to assist, advise, and give insight into this journey, to give strength. It's a hard thing to have to go and face all your insecurities and face, you know, like, I've been there. I have been the person that has had, like, everyone has at some point in their life. Everyone has their rising sign that they are with everyone when they first meet them. And I'm not saying this is just your rising being fucked up, like, but in the most blatant, like, everyone has their rising sign. When they meet people, it's who you see, and a lot of the time it can be completely different to who you actually are when you get to know someone. You know, that's the basis found, like, that's the foundation of how a lot of people operate. But I guess there is maybe it's like, I'm getting that it's being used as a band-aid. Like, maybe you've been going to parties, and maybe you, like, explicitly only really feel, like, functional when you're with other people, because you're able to bounce off them, or you're able to project this false sense of security, and that's the only real time that you feel secure. And then when you go, like, you've just been pushing it off so much, when you go inside, there's almost just too much shit to deal with. You're like, oh, keep pushing it down, keep pushing it down. You know? Alrighty. So we've got an earth and an air sign coming out. We've got the deer and the bee. The thing that I'm immediately getting with the bee is that, yeah, you've been doing a lot of work to push this shit down, to not address it. But with the deer, I'm just getting a very, like, the immediate thing that came in was like, I haven't never seen Bambi, but is it that the mother gets shot instead of Bambi? I don't know. Sorry to trigger anyone just then. But, like, deer is just like, it's a very nurturing, very feminine energy. You know, I used to have some that went back when I lived with my parents. At the back of the yard, I had a huge backyard, and we were off to a national park. And in the spring, there'd be, like, all the does that come down with the little baby deer. And there would be, like, 3 big does and, like, 4 or 5 little deer. And it would just be, like, having, like, a little crunchy munch on the grass. And then my dog Daisy would be like, ah, rah, rah. And I'd be like, damn it. It's a really peaceful moment. But she was just like, she's what, golden retriever, poodle, Labrador. So she's just like, I want to chase it. Which I understand. I'm sure if I was a dog and I saw, like, 1 billion deer, I'd be like, holy shit. Okay, so this is loving, intuitive, graceful, the mother. It represents the feminine aspects of earth energy. This energy is available to all creatures, regardless of gender, but is especially potent in new parents. During the first few days, they are fully present, nurturing and calm. Their inner beauty radiates, and a sense of grace calms the room. A deer personality affects others in this way, drawing them towards a quiet tenderness. The deer card may appear when a birth or celebration of new life draws near, or when a situation calls for absolute gentleness and compassion. Okay. Receptive, compassionate, nurturing. Similar message to group 1, but different. I mean, similar remedy, like medicine, to group 1. I mean, everyone can take this medicine, which is just like, be kinder to yourself, be more nurturing, be that feminine, nurturing energy that supports your emotions, that can process them, that is kind and understanding and just easy on them. Because I feel like you're going to be confronting some pretty heavy shit here. Like, you're confronting Eight of Swords, lies that have been, lies, it's funny that I said lies straight out, but like narratives that have been in your head, maybe about who you are, the construction of your identity, ideas surrounding those things that may not be the kindest things to hold up the pillars of your identity. And also Five of Cups, like, as I say, I keep just getting fear of abandonment from that. So going through these processes, these emotions, these things that are not serving you anymore. I don't know why the Tower hasn't come out. I guess because it's a sudden thing. This isn't a sudden thing. This is a very slow, you need to handle this with care, with caution, with love, with feminine energy. Even if you're a man, just be there for yourself and stop working so hard. I don't feel like I really need to read the bee. I just feel like this is like, I get like a worky bee, like you're almost gonna buzz out of your lie, dude. You've been pushing this kind of thing way too hard. You just need to take a bit of a moment, return to your hive, decompress, you know, recollect yourself, I guess, a little bit. But yeah, sit with yourself, take as much time as you need. I feel like Spirit will push you. I feel like there'll be a little bit of a moment maybe where you might get a bit low emotionally, like your emotions might suddenly become too much and they'll hit like a fucking tidal wave, dude. But just follow it slowly, follow them slowly. Address these issues and be kind to yourself. Try to drop the ego responses, which are like, for example, I don't, or no, or but I think this way, or no, I feel this. Like, it's a very strong voice that will tell you, it's telling you something. It's telling you that you're reacting this way. That's your ego a lot of the time, is like, you might be sad about something, but you're like, no, I'm fine. That's your ego being like, I'm fine, I need to hold together. Because you're really sad, you're sad. Try and just, it's going to be temporary. It might be a bit of a slow and painstaking process because maybe you kind of face those roadblocks with your ego a little bit. But emotions, they are temporary. Once you let them flow, you'd be surprised how quickly they process. Some obviously not as fast as others, but I am constantly surprised about how I go from one thing to another if I just let myself feel and address things. It's ridiculous. So just take some time and don't be afraid to let that ego drop down a little bit. And when it drops down, you can feel a bit naked and exposed, but you're with yourself. You know, maybe you don't need to go gallivanting and telling a lot of people about all your internal problems, but drop the ego with yourself. Because then you can come in with your own feminine energy and soothe it. Like, the ego is just us trying to make sense of the world, and it's our identity and our processing and all of that. And it, at the end of the day, just, it doesn't need to be completely gone. I'm not a believer in like ego death. I think an ego is pretty important, and it's really beneficial when you have a healthy one and a healthy relationship and an understanding of your ego. And I think maybe that's what you need to build here. And it comes through just with this feminine energy, and not kind of any like, try not to get down and out about the fact that you have to admit some pretty embarrassing things. Everyone does, everyone has it, and I'm not saying that to diminish you, but it's okay. Like, it is okay. Just try and build that rapport with yourself. Drop your ego with yourself. Be honest with yourself. Because you have all of these feelings. You have all of this stuff inside of you. It's not going to go away just because you tell yourself it's not there, or you tell yourself a different narrative of what it is. It's still going to be there, and it's still going to be building up in you, and it's not going to do anything really good until you have this kind of honest talk with yourself, this honest dialogue. Okay, anyway, I think that's everything for you, group 2. I hope this helped. Yeah, be kind to yourself. Bye. Hi, group 3. You picked, oh, that's the number 2. The Smokey Quartz. I want to try and like, oh, there. Can you kind of see, or is that my finger? Oh, wait. Can you kind of see how it's like see through here? It's the Smokey Quartz. It is, I promise you, I think the light's just having a bit of an issue picking it up. And I'm sorry that I keep on, my face is just there. How am I not going to look at it? How am I not going to look at me when I look so fabulous? So, we are going to look into a stroke of luck or something that is going to pick up your life coming in. Yeah, I'm going to be using a mixture of tarot and oracles just to see kind of what it is, and then I think I said this in the beginning, what it is, what's blocking you, and then how to get there. So, spirits, guides, ancestors, gods, goddesses, anyone on the spiritual team, the advisors of group 3, come forward to send a message through me for what may be coming, what is coming for them in terms of something's just a stroke of luck. Something's going to pick up their life, a little drop of optimism, a little drop of luck. 4 of Wands has come up quite a lot. And there you go. It was on the bottom of the deck as I picked it up to shuffle, and it just wanted to come out just then. So stability. It's also the 1111 card. It could be a relationship. It's something that is destined for you. And you also have the Fool, and so it's something that might be like you don't really know. It's very new, I'm getting. It's a very new opportunity. I don't really feel like this is an old person or an old job or an old circumstance, and I feel like it's coming towards you is what I'm sensing. And I feel like you don't really know much I feel like you don't know too much about it. You might not trust it entirely. You might not trust it entirely. You might kind of see this because it's like I've got the 4 of Pentacles with the King of Wands. I've got that you're kind of like like they're coming in pretty quick. They've got a lot of promises but not a lot of action kind of feeling here. But I'm kind of like, not that the other 2 groups were anything, it's just that it's people that need a lot of help, but this feels like a very like exciting energy. I love it. I'm getting excited. I'm getting like, ooh, I'm tapping into the Fool's energy of like, this could be fun. But I get that it's a very like, yes, it might be, you're cautioned. You feel cautious around this. I completely understand. But like it's a King of Wands energy, so you're so attracted to this thing. And it feels very stable. The thing is, I've got 4 of Wands and the Ace of Swords, so there is an air of like stability, like this is your happy place, and also of truth, of honesty, of like shining the right kind of light onto the truth of the situation. Like it's not something that is shady at all. Like it's not something that's going to come in with like a false promise. You know, if it's anything, it's upfront and honest. It just feels very new, but again, there's that. You're pretty hunkered down into yourself at the moment, so maybe you don't want this coming in. Yeah, maybe you're not exactly the most welcoming of this energy. Like maybe you kind of don't want this. Like you're kind of like fuck off. Like I don't need this. Am I allowed to swear? I don't care. Like you're kind of just like, no, I'm fine. I don't need this. But thanks. But I don't think you realize that it's something that could make you really happy. Yeah, like you're totally kind of like, no. Oh, that's so funny. Oh, but then they're coming into the King of Cups again. But then you're like, dude, I'm on my own. I'm happy. But this person's like, they come as a Knight of Swords and now they're like, the King of Cups. Like, no, I really do love you. And you're kind of like, and? Like, feel like you're so fine right now. And that's maybe you're the person that came to this video like, nah, fuck it. Like, what could come in? What could? And then I'm saying this and you're like, really? Like, really? Is that it? Like, I'm getting a very big, like, yeah, that's the energy that I'm in. This person comes into your life, maybe like wanting to show you, getting like, I can show you the world, shining, shimmering, splendid, and you're kind of like, dude, my world's already kind of fine. Like, I'm happy. I've made my home. I'm comfortable. I don't need none of this. I don't need no stress. I don't need no conflict. I don't need nothing. I'm happy. Because you've got, oh, I thought this was the 4 of Cups in reverse. 3 of Cups in reverse, eh? And you've got the 3 of Cups upright. But it came with the 9 of Swords reversed as well. Interesting. What? Maybe this is someone that comes with some drama. And you're like, no. Maybe it's someone that your friends don't like. I'm also just getting the thing of like, I don't need to fuck up my life right now. I'm really good. Like, I've got 4 of Pentacles, 5 of Wands, the 9 of Swords in reverse, and 3 of Cups in reverse, and 7 of Wands. Which is truly just telling me, like, I am good. I don't want to invite any of this chaos into my life. I'm fine. But I feel like this King of Wands is kind of like, what's up? How you doing? Let's just hang out. And you're like, fat chance. But then I think maybe you take this person up on their venture, or you should. And I feel like you begin to connect on a bit of a mental level, like in a good way. I feel like this person, you like the way they talk. You like what their mind brings to the table. And maybe they're super hot, but they're a hottie with a brain. And you're like, what? You're telling me you're attractive and I can talk with you? Interesting. Oh, I feel like, oh, that's such a nice, I like this. Oh, good for you. But I totally sense where you're coming from. If honestly, this is probably the part that I connect with the most, in the sense of, because I feel like I'm in that 4 of Wands, 4 of Pentacles place. Like, I am so good right now. I'm like, what could come in? Honestly, give me more money. Give me money. The money is probably the thing that I need the most. I don't need it, but if I had to pick the thing that I need, oh, not like I'm fucking rich. I just mean that, like, I can buy groceries. I can't really go to gigs or anything like that. I can't really have, like, fun, but I can buy my groceries, I can pay for petrol, I can live in my house, I can pay rent, and I'm good. So, if anything, I could use some more money. And maybe that's, like, where you're coming from as well. You're kind of like, what could come in? And maybe you were hoping for, like, $1 bills, yeah. And then I'm like, love! And you're like, no! It's just the vibe. If you're not in this vibe, maybe there's something later for you in the reading. But this is the vibe. Alright, this is hilarious. It's just 2 of, like, the 4, every time I look at one of the 4 of coins, I just laugh. Because it's like, this person has, like, airy, fire, like, the Fool energy, and you're just like, leave me alone. I'm fine. I have everything I need. I know people like you. You cause chaos. You're hot and you cause chaos. I feel like I need to give you a little bit of hope. I need to give you a little bit of a, like, a reason. I feel like you're gonna have a conversation with this person. There's gonna be something that you either find out about them. I feel like it's gonna be a conversation that does switch your ideas, that does kind of eesh. I was in the middle of saying something. Forget. Sorry. But oh yeah, I feel like I need to give you like a little bit of like a hey, this is why you shouldn't be so guarded. I mean, there's always a reason to be guarded, and I understand, like, I'm not saying that, like, you're being too guarded, like, fucking stop. Like, I know, like, we all know why there's reasons to be guarded. We've all been burned. Oh, and I feel like you've been burned pretty recently. And I feel like maybe you're, like, just coming out of it, and you're like, I don't need that again. I just got good from someone like you. Or it's triggering. I feel like this person's triggering. It's triggering your defenses. Like, it's triggering the Seven of Wands to be like, no, 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 no. And it feels like you're kind of like, you're depriving yourself of something that you kind of know you'd enjoy. Because, again, because I feel like this person is triggering your defenses. Because your alarm bells are going off and you're going, this is very similar to the beginning of how I got hurt last time. You know, you feel? I feel like I need to look into the despondence. Where's the little card? You have a lot of the chakra cards, which is currently, it's talking about the block, which I feel like that's the more important thing here. It's funny, each reading has been so different of where it's focused and what kind of like advice and stuff, but I feel like the real thing that needs to be kind of focused on with you is the block. Because this seems very quick and easy. Like, there's something amazing coming into your life and it's going to bring you, like, a new adventure. But the most obvious thing of this reading is you're blocking it. Like, I don't really think I need to give you too much hope about this. I feel like it's going to come in and it's going to do what it's going to do. The Fool's going to run the course it is going to run. And I feel like it's going to be a good thing. But the most obvious thing in this reading is the fact that you're like, absolutely not. Who knows? That could be a bit counterproductive. I feel like it is counterproductive. I also need to go to the bathroom. Be right back. Okie dokie, I'm back. And I read up on like the despondent card, so I wouldn't have to do that on camera. But the keywords of this card are revelation, movement, and encouragement. And essentially the story, it's like the violet, iris, all these, the different purple cards are different images and shades of purple. And this one is by taking action, I found the road out. And this card talks about, like, I'm guessing this is Violet. This card story is Violet is depressed, like she's going through a little bit of a time, and the universe is like giving her things to do, like take action, like take a shower, take a bath, blah, blah, blah. And she does it, and then she's still kind of like, yeah, life's still shit. And so the universe puts a hurricane into her neighborhood, and she saves the children, like the neighborhood's children. And then she's like, oh, I feel good. Like, but the inspiration is, Iris teaches us that the only route out of stagnation is motion. If we do nothing, we must accept consequences. Which part of my life am I feeling immobilized? I know what I need to do. Am I willing to trust myself? Key ideas are feeling helpless, acceptance of circumstances, change on the horizon, and taking action. So, I feel like that really speaks to a lot of your circumstances right now. There's obviously a reason why you feel so stable and probably why you're protecting yourself so heavily. Like one of the ways of Four of Pentacles is seen can be like greed, or it can be that you have everything and just like, oh, I don't need to go anywhere. And the other way it can be is that this one's a shield. Like you're shielding yourself, because sometimes from spirit, you're shielding your head, your heart, and your grounds is what I'm getting just there. Because I feel like in the past you have been hurt pretty recently, and this might be where you are right now, might be the first time in quite a while where you're feeling like good, where you're feeling on top of it and you feel stable. And there is that element of Four of Pentacles. I have everything I need, I don't want to fuck everything up, I just want to stay here. But if you stay there, I'm not saying you're going to get depressed, but you're going to be stagnant. And I feel like something's coming in. Maybe it isn't a person, okay? Maybe it's not a person. It doesn't have to be a person, but all of you. But it could be a passion. It could be an opportunity that aligns with your passion, that aligns with something. And if you're not ready to take it, you're going to miss it. 100% you're going to miss it. You're just going to stay in your own little castle. Like this is the one that built of a castle with the moat. You're not going to let this person in. this thing, I keep on wanting to say person, I'm sorry, you're not going to let it in, and you're kind of just going to stay there. And you're either going to move from the 4 to the 5 of Pentacles, which is isolation, locked out, feelings of depression, or you're going to move from the 4 of Pentacles back to the 3 to start working, to doing something, to getting in motion of something, putting your material realm into a place of growth. And I feel like that's an important thing for me to say to you, is that yes, you might feel safe now, but if you stay this way, you're going to get stagnant and you're not really going to feel so safe anymore. Life's always moving. Nothing is ever permanent. You need to go with the flow. I know how it feels to like feel that element of safety and just being like, I want to stay here, I want to stay here, I want to stay here. I don't want to fuck anything up ever again. And I'm not saying you have to fuck your life up, but life is going to come in cycles. It's going to come in waves. It's going to come in... It's not just going to come in and destroy you every 5 seconds, as I kind of feared that it would. But it is always going to change. It's always going to be changing. And this person might come in with some new ideas, or this, I'm saying person because there's King of Wands and there's Knights, so it's the Fool, like it's a very big person energy. And I still definitely get that thing of, nope, I feel like, and less of like a, no, fuck, no, I'm fine. I'm getting as a defensive now. I'm getting as the 7 of Wands, like, and then I'm looking at the 3 of Cups being like, you're depriving yourself of something that'd probably make you super happy. You know, like even if it's just like a little bit of fun, even if it's just a little bit of fun, like a little smidgy, like a little smidge of fun, you're still like, absolutely not. Because then I have to deal with the loss of that fun. And then I have to deal with the, you know what? You've probably been through enough the fact that the loss of that little fun, you might not actually be as bummed out as you think it is. And also, hot take, you might not need to lose it. I know that I just said a whole thing about like life moving in cycles and everything always moving, but not everything leaves immediately. Sometimes things leave, sometimes things just change, and that's a form of leaving. I just definitely feel like you're in a bit of a state of not letting anything new in because of that fear, because of the last time you let something new in. Ouch. Which, I get it. But that's the whole process of healing, is that you heal and you need to be able to learn to open up again, to let in the new abundance, to not stay in that state of loss. Like this guy is over losing this coin. And you like, I don't know how to word it properly, but like something's coming into my head, and the fact that he lost that coin, but that little girl found a way. He just went to a bar and drank about it, and that little girl found a way to let it, like, to get the abundance. Like that's essentially the story of it. But I want to point out the fact that he lost it and he's just drinking himself and he lost it, whereas somebody else is like, they're doing. She's going into motion to pick that abundance up and bring it into her life. That's the thing that needed to boop boop, you know. And then it's a renewal. It's I know people can sometimes be scared of beginnings. I'm terrified of them. I can manage endings. You know, and I feel like maybe you're in them. Like, I feel like I'm connecting to this part. I can't really see it playing out in my life, like, but I'm connecting the blockedness with how I process things, in the sense of I am all for ending things. I am not scared of endings by this point anymore. Like, I'm not. I know that I can take it. I know that I can take anything. But starting things, putting myself out there, welcoming things into my life, saying yes to things. Oh boy. Absolutely not. I would rather not. But if you do that, you're gonna be losing a lot of joy, a lot of abundance, a lot of renewal. I mean, if you can take it from one person to another, I've been trying to say yes to more. I've been saying yes to more things, even if they're at like a late minute's notice, and then it doesn't really, it causes some shit for my family, but we've moved past that. I've been trying to say yes to more things, putting myself into experiences, opening myself up to people, and it honestly has been bringing in abundance and joy. I have worked through a lot of insecurities recently about like my fear of perception and people perceiving me and me not having control over that, and a lot of stuff that's not really in here, but I just want to say as like an anecdote of, I have I have been in that, and I still do have that. Oh my god, my life is so good and that I'm alone. Like, I live by myself. I am alone. Like, my entire life I've been so much more comfortable by myself than I ever have been in a relationship. Have I ever been as in love than I've been in a relationship? Honestly, this year I'm learning that I have been, but I never thought I would. Like, there's a certain beauty the relationships bring to your life. I cannot deny that. But the level of security and the level of oneness and stability that I feel when I'm alone in my life is such a beautiful thing that I'm always like, I can fall in love with people in 2 seconds, but to actually commit myself to a relationship and bring that person into my life, to bring that new thing into my life, it takes quite a lot of convincing. I love idealizing people. I love fantasizing about them in my head. I love interacting with them really, like, just like now and again, and just like not really like being friends and like da-da-da-da-da. But if you told me like you're about to get a boyfriend, I'd be like, fuck no. No, I'm not. I am so happy. I am so happy right here. Very much this energy. But also, no boyfriend has come in yet, so. Anyway, the point is, from one person with a lot of walls up to another, I've been slowly breaking them down, and it has been a lot of abundance and renewal. Like, it has been a lot of this. Taking action really does help. So if that prompts you, maybe you're a Virgo or an Aquarius. They're the 2 signs that are so comfortable alone. And that's why I have Aquarius. It's not why, but I have Aquarius in my 7th house, and it's why I always want to date them. Me just like sighing. Oh, my only 2 relationships that I really love have been with Aquarians. And that is on having a Leo rising. Aquarius 7th house. Alright, so you got Deer. That's what group 2 got. Again, the message is always the same, and I feel like it is because everyone can hear this. That's what I said in the last video. Be kind to yourself. You're obviously operating in a state of preservation at the moment. You're, again, like I'm saying, like this 3 of Cups in reverse, you're denying yourself happiness. You're denying yourself, if this card is what it is, you're denying yourself abundance. Abundance that wants to come in, that might be coming in a form that triggers you, that doesn't really make you feel the most secure, that might feel like it's threatening to take away your security, but that's all up here, sweetie. I'm also kind of saying this to myself. You need to let things in. You got Lizard. So you got Deer, which is the nurturing aspect. And then you have Lizard. And I feel like I need to read that one out because I'm not getting too much from that. The Deer, I'm getting, like, I can't remember what group one's was, but they had a very similar message as well of just the bringing out the feminine. I think they had the Tiger. But it's that just connecting with your feminine and buddy. You fucking wait. Anyway, connect with your inner feminine to be able to get over these blocks of this triggered me and this. If it triggers you, delve into that trigger. Delve into why. Soothe that pain in you that goes, I don't want to trust this, I don't want to trust this, I don't want to trust this, and ask that voice, why? Why don't you want to trust this? Well, because this time, I'm so sorry that happened. It's okay. You're okay. You're out of it now. Be that calming, quelling, soothing voice for yourself. Be that nurturing, that space to hold the emotion. Like, yes, the masculine creates the structure, but the feminine is the one that holds, like, the masculine creates the space, but I feel like the feminine is the one that holds it. If that makes sense. So be that space holder for yourself. don't like hold on to your trauma, but hold the emotions that feed it, and hold the space for them to start moving again, to start flowing, to start just processing through them, to then be able to open yourself up to this thing that's coming into your life. It's fun. Maybe it only lasts for 2 seconds, maybe it lasts for longer, but it seems like it's gonna bring in, it's gonna be like, it might be that thing of like, oh fuck it, just take a chance, you know. You need to step into the full energy of just like, obviously do the healing, do the nurturing, and when you're feeling like you have a good relationship with that healer within yourself, latch onto that fuck it, let's do it energy, you know. Because I read the When Out of Balance, the lizard. When out of balance is elusive, non-committal, and flaky. When I do this, I'm pointing to myself in the sense of, when in balance, it's artistic, telepathic, and spiritual. And when it's not, it's like elusive, non-committal, and flaky. And it's like me when I'm in my best state and then something comes to threaten my insecurity and I'm like, I will have nothing to do with you. I don't know. That was, maybe I'm projecting. Maybe this entire reading is a projection. That'd be fun. Anyway, the lizard is expert in the realm of sensory perception. As if it has a sixth sense, the lizard hears what it is yet to be spoken and sees what is yet to manifest. Although this is an amazing gift, it can easily wear the lizard down. Big crowds, lots of travel, or overstimulation will drain a lizard of their magical essence. This card is an indication to pull back from the bright lights in the big city and return to the inner artist who's been whispering your name. True. Nice. Maybe in this like nurturing state to like get through these kind of feelings, these blockages, because it's definitely like yourself is the block. You are your block in the terms of you're just trying to be in stability. You're just trying to like, you're in a bit of a survival mode. You've just come out of something. You've just come out of something awful, and you're in that space of, hi, I'm finally okay. I just need to be okay. But now I'm getting the thing that you need to start feeding yourself a bit. You need to start like less. I'm noticing now that there's a lot of wands, and I feel like maybe you've been a bit. You can't really be too grounded. I mean, you can't be too grounded, but you've been a bit too focused on the material, the physical, the structure, the stability. You need to start letting creativity back in your life, just to get that fire going again. You know. And maybe that'll help, that kind of nurturing. Maybe it'll help those feelings process. Maybe it'll let the... No, I feel like the push of this thing coming in will push the full response. But I think the introduction of a creative activity, a creative pursuit, even if it's just, I've started doodling. I like dead ass, if you want to see the stuff that I've been doing. For example... just do this. It feels so good. Just like, it feels so good. Just do that. Just like, dead ass. Just draw lines. When I tell you, that's my therapy for the day. There's more, but like, obviously, it feels really good just to even let that little bit of creativity in your life, because then you start seeing that you can create beautiful things, in the sense of, it might just be a beautifully curved line. Like, I just love that the curved lines that I make are so lovely to just follow and draw, and then I just sit and look at it and I'm like, wow, I just did that. Yeah, it's some lines drawn with ballpoint pen, but they look pretty. They're nicely curved. You know? Connect with that. And I think also with this, don't judge yourself so harshly on the creations that you have. Try and get rid of that, that it's not good enough. Like, create for the sake of creation. Create for the sake of just like doing something rather than watching a 20-minute YouTube video. Try to take away that innate judgment. Try and maybe channel some emotions into it. I've never fully understood how to do that. I'm still tapping into that, but you know how some people can just create things that like just have emotion, I think that's beautiful. If you're one of those people that can do or used to do that, tap back into that, I reckon. It's funny, now I'm paying attention to the fact that the Smokey Quartz is a protection stone. You definitely are in a state of wanting to protect yourself from anything, but the time is coming for new. The time's coming for you to break. Not break, but like just... You have set up your foundations. How secure you feel will stay with you even if you go onto these new ventures. You've built the security, you've been so focused, you've done a lot of hard work. It's not just going to disappear if you start letting some fun or some creativity or some spontaneity into your life. Like, it's going to stay with you. It's not going to disappear. It's not just going to be taken from you like it might have been in the past. Like, it's not going to be like that, and please trust that. Anyway, I feel like that's all I'm really compelled to say. Maybe go out dancing. Dancing's creativity. That's what I do. I've realized that I'm not maybe the most like outwardly like creative in the sense of I like to draw, I like to doodle, but my creativity comes from my body in the sense of dancing, singing, like any kind of like stuff, yoga. What else is creative? Dressing. I know it might not seem like it right now because of this, but like dressing, expressing yourself through your fashion, hair. That's creativity. Tap into that stuff, man. The way you organize your space, your room, the way you decorate is creativity. Maybe redecorate your room. I feel like I'm getting way too casual with these things now, but also that's fine. Anyway, thank you, group 3. I hope this kind of brought something to you. If anything, you know you're not alone, because this is the part that I probably relate to the most, and maybe I need to take some of the medicine that I'm saying to you. Yum yum. Okay, bye.